Like that one song title of A Day to Remember song says, we're right back at it again. We already got through the 2 Elite Trainer boxes. Now it's on time to the main course here, the Temporal Forces booster box. So, how is everyone doing? Hoping everybody had a good week. We got to break out our old classic handy dandy wine opener here right off the bat. Yeah, hopefully everybody's having a good week. Hopefully you all had a good Easter with your families if you celebrate that. If not, hopefully you just had a good time in general. But we're back. I'm actually recording this prior to going on to a little vacation here. Not going anywhere special. Maybe the couch if we're feeling a little frisky. We might make it out there. But other than that, it's looking to be a staycation over here. But I wanted to get this up and recorded, mostly because I just picked it up today, and I know next week I'm just going to be doing some relaxing. So, standard booster box here. I think we've got 36 or so, something like that, packs. But we're just going to get right into it. We're going to start off with the left side here. Bust into them. We're not going to waste any time. We've already gone through what comes in like the Elite Trainer boxes. We've got to see, all that fun stuff. And this is just a booster box of packs, so nothing fancy about it. Just a lot of packs that we're going to be opening today. So we're going to get right into it here. But as I said before, it is feeling really good not to be opening any more Paldean Fates. Just being able to see some new stuff in that is doing me wonders. Especially knowing that I'm officially clocked out of work and I won't have to go back for another 9 days. It's feeling good. I'm gonna fry up some old tacos here. And yeah, we're gonna start it off with the Miraidon holographic. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good myself. Hopefully everybody there is feeling pretty good. Like I said, hopefully by the time this comes out, we've all got to have a good Easter holiday, even if you don't celebrate it. At least hopefully you had a good time. But we got Yamper, Torracat, Grubbin, Frostmoth and Iron Treads there. Buddy Poffin, Zorora, Cypher Maniac's Code Breaking, Relicanth. Okay, so we finally got a nice little Illustrator rare right there. And like I said in one of the last videos, the Illustrator rares in these look really, really good. Even for some more of these common ones like Relicanth here. That is really beautiful. And then a Holo Drampa. So kind of the hope for this is, I know we haven't opened too many packs. It would just be nice to kind of round out a lot of the more common stuff, at least get all the commons knocked out, all the holos and the EXs, and then of course if we could start to kind of build up getting some of the higher end rarity ones. But I feel like we already have a pretty good start to that, so hopefully we can finish that out here. Salvatore, Bronzong, Excadrill, Electivire, Delmise, and Incineroar EX. Very nice. And maybe one of the things coming down the old chain here as well is this might be our last video here up at this table. We do have our basement now in working conditions, so I would like to hopefully transfer doing the videos down there. That way I could kind of do a little bit more with the backdrop other than just kind of whatever flower vase we have at our kitchen table. Kind of have it more Pokemon themed. Although we will miss old Blue right here. It's worked its wonders so far. Iron Valiant, Roselia, Sawsbuck, and Melmetal. So I think at this point, other than a lot of some of the more rare stuff, I think by now we've probably seen most of, if not all, the commons, uncommons. I think we're also pretty close as well with a lot of the holos. So it'll just be kind of, like I said, rounding out some of the EXs and other higher end stuff. Excadrill, Keldeo, Delmise, Iron Hands. So I am trying to get the reverse holos for the Paradox. We're going to set that off to the side. And another Raging Bolt EX full art. All right. Hopefully we get to see something a little bit different. I'm not hating on it. It's nice that we got another one. But I hope that's just not our only big hit out of there. I'd like to see some new stuff in that. Don't want to have a repeat of old Paldean Fates where start to get bogged down with just constant repeats. Mudbray, Ghastly, Finizen, Sharpedo, and Metagross there. These cards are a little sticking together a little bit. Maybe old Licky Licky got his hands on them, or rather his tongue. And a regular, boring, holographic version of Relicanth. Yeah, maybe old Licky Licky there paid a little visit to the card shop and just couldn't contain himself. Made these cards a little bit of that sticky icky. Can't blame him. I know myself. Palms were getting a little sweaty seeing this beautiful little box just sitting there up by the counter, so can't blame him. Electivire, Cincino, Future Booster Energy Capsule, Palafin, Scyther, and Macargo. Again, not a bad artwork for a regular holo. I do think they have stepped their holo game up a little bit in this set. At least compared to, well, the only thing that I can really think of is the horde of Palmies we've accumulated, but yeah, at this point it's just nice to be seeing different artwork. Dunsparce, Snom, which Snom actually has one of the more beautiful Illustrator rares in here, so hopefully maybe we could get that. Keldeo, Iron Jugulus, Delmise, Boxed Order, Mightyena, and Dunsparce. Here's our little code card there. We have Ghastly. Again, Ghastly is another one that apparently has a pretty valuable Illustrator rare. Last I saw, it was sitting around $20-some. Now, I do know from reading a recent article about some of the prices for stuff. In this set in particular, it does seem like stuff's kind of on the higher end. I'm guessing a lot of that is because this set is still relatively new. Okay, speaking of new things, Scovillian EX. But I'm guessing a lot of it probably has to do with the fact that this set's pretty new, but I know from looking at TCG Player and a couple other sites online, it does seem like there's been a lot of fluctuation with some of the prices for stuff here. So I wouldn't say overall that, you know, if you hit that Ghastly, it's automatically like a $20 card, but I have seen it sell for that. Again, just not sure if that's because this set's still relatively new. Sableye, Rescue Board, Shift Tree, okay. Forgot the Shift Tree was in this set, but that is, again, another really cool artwork. And Koraidon. So not a bad artwork for Koraidon. I do think the Miraidon artwork is a little bit better. But then again, I am a little bit more partial to Violet since that is the game that I started off with. Although I do like the fact that Koraidon does set the sun, and for someone who's a big fan of Charizard, Koraidon's always welcome on the team. He's gonna get a plate. Mudbray, Iron Hands, Morty's Conviction. What's he convicted of? We'll have no idea. But he definitely looks like he's been up to some shady stuff there. Ponyta, Macargo, and Drampa. Drampa just looks boring as hell. I'm just going to say it. I know there's probably somebody out there that likes it, but it just looks just kind of boring. Actually, for those of you that, I mean, maybe some of you that are a little bit older, you might remember it, but that movie, The Never-Ending Story, thank God it did have an ending. But it kind of reminds me a little bit of the dragon in there. I think, if I remember right, I think it was named Atreyu. So I know that there's like a metalcore band called Atreyu, and I think that they actually got their name from that particular dragon from that movie. But that's always what Drampa has kind of given me vibes of. But it just hasn't really interested me. So Vikavolt, Cottony, at least all the boring stuff here is the stuff that's slipping by. There's Miraidon. So again, I do kind of feel that for the regular holo here, Miraidon kind of takes the cake over Koraidon. But yeah, Drampa's just a little bit too boring for me. Plus, if I recall correctly, I think it had like a pretty low appearance rate in Sword and Shield. And so I know when I was trying to complete the Pokédex for that, I spent just a lot of time looking for one. And whenever I caught it, it was like, you know, like, well, he's going to sit in the forever box for, well, forever. I guess that's why they call it the forever box. Shroomish, Bianca's Devotion, Iron Jugulus, Lycanroc. Okay, Rocket Pot. So we got another of the Ace Spec cards. I think we got this in one of our other videos, but apparently these are just supposed to be really, really powerful trainers that I believe it's you can only have, yeah, you can only have one Ace Spec card in your deck. So from what I was looking up, there are definitely some that are better than others. I think from what I was seeing, the one that we initially got wasn't one of the better ones. It did still have a pretty powerful effect, but from my understanding, what I was reading, at least in the Pokemon TCG, getting energies onto your cards is a lot easier than what it was back when I did play the game. Granted, that really kind of ended after the Neo expansions. I had to think there for a little bit. I still did collect a little of the Ruby Sapphire era, but not a whole lot. Lickitung, Charjabug, Bianca's Devotion, Reuniclus, Explorer's Guidance, Torracat, Electabuzz, and Relicanth. Sometimes that little bit of holographic cardboard there towards the end always gets me a little excited because sometimes you can't tell if it's a big hit or if it's just a standard holo. So I kind of see it, peeking through the old blinders at me there, and couldn't tell if it was going to be a friend or a foe. We'll let you decide that. We have another Lickitung. Just chilling out there on the beach, probably because he's so fat he can't stand up anymore. Salvatore, Palafin, Screamtail, Melmetal, Iron Treads, and for Alligator Hollow. So again, I am going to throw the Iron Treads here off on the side. I just think it'd be pretty cool if I could get the whole set of the reverse hollows from them. That shouldn't be too hard, we might actually end up completing it just from this box here. Yeah, just for whatever reason, the reverse hollow pattern on the Paradox cards does look pretty good. Slugmanuts, Solosis, Skitty, Electabuzz, Latias, Ancient Booster Energy Capsule, Iron Treads, Skitty. Oh, we got something there. Okay. Walking Wake EX. Very nice. And then it was just a regular energy there on the back. So I think that gave us all three of the Scarlet exclusive Paradox Legendary. So I think we just have to round out Violets now. I think the only thing we're missing is Iron Boulder. Oh, let's get that code card there. Electabuzz, Ramblin', Girafarig, Heavy Baton. Give that Heavy Baton to Iron Valiant. Start beating your Pokemon into compliance. Don't at me, PETA, Pikachu, and Iron Thorns. I know we've gotten the reverse, but I don't think we've gotten the regular hollow. And again, just that yellow transitioning over into black does look really cool. And we're coming down to the last pack here, at least for the left-hand side. We're just going to start throwing stuff on the floor and hope we get it cleaned up before the wife gets home. Bramblin', Girafarig, Roselia, Cutie Fly, Buddy Buddy Poffin, Lycanroc, Delcatty, Mudbray, Cutie Fly, and something that's even worse than Drampa. All right, let's get our other half out here. They had all them years to give Dunsparce an evolution. Look at how they massacred our boy. Actually, they really couldn't have massacred him that badly because Dunsparce itself wasn't peak Pokemon design by any means, but I just feel that after that long, you had something that not a lot of people were a fan of. Could have done them a little bit better. Drillbur, Rellor, carrying around a big ball of shit. Reuniclus, Mist Energy, Sawsbuck, Koraidon, reverse. I think we'll probably still set that off to the side there. Lycanroc, and it does look like we have something nice peeking behind this. That thing that must not be named, EX. It must not be named only because I can't freaking pronounce its name. But we have seen that one before. Maybe that's what I should have done it on, in between videos is look up some of the pronunciation to some of these guys. Drillbur. Looks like he's just happy to be rolling around in Rellor shitball there. Ponyta. Chatot. Future Booster Energy Capsule. Iron Hands. Victini. Charge-a-Bug. And Melmetal Hollow. This is our code card. Ponyta, Chatot. I don't know if I've ever said it, but apparently Chatot used to have a signature move where its base power was actually dependent on a pre-recording of yourself that you could do. However, like most things, humanity quickly found an abusive way for that, and I guess there were some pretty nefarious Chatot recordings going on around there, which is kind of interesting to hear, but I could only imagine, you know, as a parent, you're letting your kid in the back seat, you know, they're doing an online match against somebody, and then all of a sudden you have, you know, the degenerates of the world having something screech right into your child's ear just so it can do a couple extra hit points of damage. Cottony. But I will say, though, I'm sure there were some very magical things that came out of that. Turtwig. That is a really nice art for Turtwig. Mist Energy. Sandy Shocks. Behemoth. Heatless. Meltan. Okay, we got another. And that does look really good. And another Charizard holo. So at least we are getting some more of the kind of Illustrator rare artwork going on. Again, that's probably not the correct term for it, but who cares? Look at this idiot, though. He got himself all tangled up on a tree. Turtwig. Poochyena. Must have been just listening to some old King of Darkness right there. The man himself, Ozzy Osbourne. That boy was howling at the moon. Muddy Horse. Grubbin. Shiftry. And Scizor EX. All right. Very cool. Just out of curiosity, I know that now Scyther has a branch evolution, but out of curiosity, just let me know in the comments, did Cleavor kind of change your opinion on, I know a lot of people really like Scizor, but did Cleavor do enough to kind of tear you away from wanting to use Scizor? Arbok. Seedot. That is a pretty good looking artwork. Rapidash. Bolton. Mudsdale. Minchino. Croconaw. And Whimsicott. Okay. That is a new holo, I think. I don't think we've gotten that. So that might have been all of the commons, uncommons, and now holos knocked out. Forget how many of them we were off, but I think we've got the rest of them so far. But while we're on this pack here, if you all could, please do that little dirty trifecta. I know I've been forgetting to ask you guys, but if you could, like, comment, subscribe. It definitely does help out the channel. We are 25 away from hitting that big one hundo. Seedot, Totodile. But yeah, if you could, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share it, you know, with some friends. Share it with your grandma. Probably haven't seen her in a little while. But yeah, share it with them, you know, have some family bonding time. Mudsdale, and okay, there we go. We did get a nice one. Bianca's Devotion full art there. So I'm guessing that's going to be our other big hit from this box. So cross our fingers. Maybe there's still one more lurking about in here. We got Totodile, Deerling, Pidove, Pineco, Cypher Maniac's Code Breaking, Sawsbuck, Perilous Jungle, Delcatty, Seedot, and Fluttermane Holo. And I think we've only got about a quarter of the box left here. Pidove, Pineco, Mawile, Meditite, Unpheasant, Airy, Scorch, Rhydon Reverse, Golurk. That is such a cool artwork. It does just look so menacing with that background there. Kind of gives me some Iron Giant vibes. And speaking of Iron Valiant. But, yep, it's looking that we're about halfway through the second half here. There is the code card. Mawile, Meditite, Turtonator, Hoot Hoot, Unpheasant, Scorch, Palafin, Tranquil, Metang, and another Miraidon Hollow. So I think we've kind of hit that magical point where, unless it's an EX or something better, I think we've pretty much seen it. So there's another code card for you all. Turtonator, Hoot Hoot, Beldum, Heatmore, although I think this is a different artwork from the other one. Maybe I'm just losing it. I think Dixon Dallas is going to slip in your lunch in that to have you be the inspiration for his next big country hit. Girafarig, Dunsparce, and Gengar EX. That is actually a really cool artwork for just a standard EX. Very nice. Gengar is just such a classic Pokemon. Even though I do feel that Pokemon has gotten better since the original days, it's always still exciting to see some of the big haymakers remain as popular as they are. I mean, I know our boy Charizard definitely does get, some might say, some special treatment from Nintendo and Game Freak and the Pokemon Company, but it is still cool, though, to always see some of its brethren also rise up to, or shouldn't say rise up to the same level of popularity, but maintain that level of popularity. Screamtail and Macargo. A Dark Energy. Sorry, I noticed something was a little off in the reverse hollow pile there, and like I said before, but as a man on YouTube and a balaclava once told me, it's my autism. I get to choose the flavor, and you have to get that boy out of there. Roly-Poly, Azumarill, Yamper, Grubbin, Ribombee, Future Booster Energy Capsule, Iron Hands. All right, looks like we got another one, Prime Catcher. So another Ace Spec card. I believe there's 4, so we're only 1 off from having all 4 of them. Meltan and Roaring Moon Hollow. All right, looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 packs left here. Yamper, Torcat, Grubbin, Frostmoth, Screamtail, Sableye, out in the mines just like the children used to be, Shroomish, Beheeyem, and for Alligator. It is kind of interesting that child labor is now frowned upon. Not saying that I disagree with it. However, it is also kind of interesting that Minecraft is such a huge hit with the young ones. So I guess in a way the kids still are yearning for the mines. Mr. Mime, Raichu, Rescue Board, Sandy Shocks, your beard trimmer, the Dunsparce, Metacham, and another Relicanth Hollow. I think actually that said hand trimmer. I don't know who in the Pokemon world is running around with like ape-like hands, but must be enough that somebody is Bill Gates in it off of some hand trimmers. I mean, I guess, you know, like if you had a Rillaboom or something like that, you could kind of trim his big old gorilla paws, but I also don't know why you would do that. So I'm going to guess it's probably more for somebody in the Pokemon universe. Croconaw. Maybe it's for Professor Oak. Maybe that's why Ash's mom has bonded better with Mr. Mime. Maybe that's his secret. He's just got really hairy hands. Speaking again of it, there it is, the hand trimmer. Ekans. Chatot. Imagine all of them just echoing all the darkest things that you said in the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 days. Beautiful. And Drampa. Coming down to our last two here. Are we going to have any more big hits? Or has our little steam engine there run out? Second to last code card. We've got Victini, Bronzor, Mudbray, Ghastly, Rabsca, Fortress, Full Metal Alchemist Lab, Morty's Conviction, Hoot Hoot, and Fluttermane Hollow. So is our gambling on the childhood cardboard. Is it going to end on a high note? Are we going to make like Sergeant Johnson? We going out with a bang? Or are we just going to go out with a whimper? Let's find out here. So here we have it, our last code card. And we've got Carkol, Grottle, Finizen, Bronzor, Rabsca, Iron Jugulus, Full Metal Lab, Noctowl, Grottle, and the moment of truth. Let's just fingers crossed. EX or better. Miraidon EX. All right, we'll take it. We'll take it. Toyotathon's here. Seeing as how they also made a rideable Miraidon bike. Or I guess motorcycle. So let me just move some of this out of the way here. I know it's not in any sleeves. Such a dirty girl. But, so, in terms of some of our full arts here, which or Illustrator Rares, whatever you call them. So we were able to get 4. Thankfully, all 4 of them were new ones. We got Meltan, which is a very interesting one. It's not just the camera, even outside of the camera. The hollow pattern is a little bit interesting. Shift Tree, which I think this card is absolutely gorgeous. I love the artwork to it, especially with Shift Tree in there and some of the little sea dots kind of scurrying around behind them. Relicanth just being a narwhal, hanging out in the ocean, probably causing a commotion. And then every bad thing you ever said online, just kind of flurrying around, screaming it at a bunch of innocent people. And then in terms of some of our other bigger hits here, we ended on our boy Miraidon EX. The Prime Catcher A-Spec. Again, I do just feel that the design of these A-Specs is really, really good. Gengar EX. Scizor EX. Bianca's Devotion as one of our 2 big hits. Farigiraf, Walking Wake, Reboot Pod, the other ace spec. So I think we're only down to one. Scovillian, Incineroar EX, and another full art Raging Bolt. So at least we have all of them knocked out. So hopefully we can finish getting the Paradox form of the Scarlet Legendary, or I'm sorry, the Violet Paradox Legendaries. But yeah, so we did get our booster box. I think at this point we're going to be looking into some of the box sets that are coming out with it, and we'll go from there. Maybe do some other things if some of the promos that are released with this set aren't too great. There's still a couple other things that I eyed up that would be interested, or I would be interested in opening for you all. But as always, thank you everyone for always tuning in and watching. Hope everyone has a good weekend, and we'll catch you next time.